Hey everyone, it's Joanna here. I do hope you're doing well. In today's video, we're going to be discussing on how to use Kigelia Africana and what to look out for when buying the herb. Now, this is one of the most popular products in my apothecary. A lot of interest comes from how it's being linked to men's health and women's hormonal health as well, especially around the topics of male enlargement or testosterone increase or erectile dysfunction for men. And for women, it's often discussed in relation to PCOS and fertility. So I'm going to do a separate video about its benefits for men and women, but this video will focus mainly on how to use the dried fruit. Now, before I continue, just a quick disclaimer. I always recommend speaking to a doctor or a qualified herbalist, especially if you're dealing with specific health concerns. What I'm sharing in this video is not medical advice. I'm simply showing you ways that I personally use Kigelia. The first way I use Kigelia Africana is in hot milk. I warm a cup of milk, not boiling, just comfortably hot. Then I add about half a teaspoon of the powder and stir it well. Sometimes I let it sit for a few minutes so it properly infuses before drinking it. So taking it with milk can help because the fats from the milk support the absorption of certain plant compounds deeper into your cells. That's why many traditional herbal systems often combine herbs with fats like milk or oils. I keep it quite moderate. With strong plants like Kigelia, more is not better. So I usually have it for about once or twice a week for about a month. Then I give it a break for 2 to 3 weeks and then I continue again. The second way I use it is as a tea with hot water. I add about half a teaspoon to hot water and I let it steep and then I drink it like a normal tea. This is a simple option if you don't want to use milk. Again, I use it for about a month, 1 to 2 times a week, and then I give it a break and I continue again. The third way to use Kigelia is also as a tea, but this time I use it topically on my skin. So I let the tea water cool down completely. I pour it in a spray bottle and then I spray it directly on my face or my body, usually after having a shower. A lot of people forget that the skin can actually absorb plant compounds. So the skin is not just there to protect you. It can actually take in whatever you apply to it and send it straight into your bloodstream. So that's why creams and oils and even certain medical patches work. So using Kigelia this way, it allows me to apply it directly and get it inside my bloodstream without having to drink it, which some other people prefer as well. The fourth way I use it is as a tea again, but again, I use the tea water and I pour it into my body lotion. So I mix a small amount of the tea water with my regular body lotion, and then I apply it as I would normally apply my body lotion after having a shower. So this is another easy way to use Kigelia regularly without having to add too many steps. And the last way I use Kigelia Africana powder is by infusing it into oil. So I add the powder to a carrier oil and I allow it to infuse it over some time, usually about a month. So you need to keep it somewhere where there's not too much sunlight and let the compounds from the herbs gently infuse over some time into the oil. And once the oil is ready, I use it externally on my skin. This works well as I prefer oils and sometimes I want something gentle rather than something strong. So what I like about these methods is that I can actually alternate them. On the days I'm not drinking the tea, I'll use the oil or the body lotion or the tea water as a spray, whether in the lotion or as an oil. That way I'm not overdoing it internally, but I'm still actually using the plant in a balanced and practical way. So I get the benefits of Kigelia daily and I haven't had any adverse reactions from the way I use it. So this next section of the video, I'm going to explain to you things to look out for when you're buying Kigelia Africana powder. Now, if you're looking for the powder online, obviously I sell the powder in my apothecary. But if you do look on other shops, you'll notice sometimes a big difference in the prices and even in the color. And it's worth understanding why, because Kigelia powder is not all the same. Firstly, where your powder comes from matters. Now, Kigelia is a tree that's native to Africa. However, a lot of the powders sold online, especially the cheaper powders, that are sold on large marketplaces, a lot of them are actually not coming from where Kigelia is grown. Some of them are coming from China. In fact, quite a lot of them are coming from China. And that should immediately make you question authenticity and sourcing, because the powder I sell comes from the wild African plants in West Africa. So they're grown in their natural environment where Kigelia actually comes from. And secondly, the thing you need to understand is about wild plants and why they're better than the farmed plants. Now, like I said, my Kigelia comes from wild crafted plants, meaning that they grow freely in the wild rather than being mass produced on plantations. And that distinction matters because farmed plants are usually grown for volume, and the focus is more on producing large quantities quickly, often using fertilizers and using soil conditions that aren't really truly native to the plant. Whereas wild plants grow at their own pace. They adapt to their natural environment, they pull nutrients directly from the native soil, and they develop strongly without any human interference. Because they grow more slowly and have to survive natural conditions, they tend to produce a higher concentration of the active compounds, that the compounds that actually you guys are looking for in the Kigelia to help with your whatever issues it is you're actually using it for. So in simple terms, wild crafted plants, they're more potent, they're more stronger than plants that are grown in plantations and sold cheaply for mass profit. Now, thirdly, you need to look out for the ripeness of the fruit because that also makes a huge difference. Now, I use only fallen, fully ripe fruits. Think about the difference between, like, for example, a green banana and a ripe banana. An unripe fruit hasn't really fully developed, so its compounds are not at their peak. A fully ripened fruit has reached full maturity, meaning that the nutrients and active constituents in the plants are fully formed. That's why the powder that I sell is a lot darker, and it contains a full spectrum of Kigelia's natural compounds, which you can actually see. You can see in the color too. The darker powder usually indicates ripeness and strength, whereas a pale powder can suggest an unripe fruit was used. Fourthly, how the powder is dried determines how much nutrients are preserved. Many suppliers actually use sun drying, which is quick and inexpensive. And actually, sun drying is the traditional method used in many African countries. However, prolonged exposure to direct heat and UV rays can degrade some of the plant's active compounds. So this reduces the overall strength and potency. So this is why my powder is air dried instead of sun dried. And it's a slower, more controlled method when you're air drying. And that helps protect the plant's natural compounds because there's no intense heat involved. And finally, freshness matters. With my Kigelia, I tend to move the stock very quickly. I don't like keeping any powders that are more than 3 months old. Even though you can keep herbal powders for 2 years, if you look in a lot of stores online, you look at the expiry dates, it usually lasts for 2 years. But I like to move my stock quickly and I like to pick my plants fresh. So I've been lucky in the sense that a lot of my powders have been moving quickly and customers love the quality. The powder available is typically made from fruits harvested within the last 3 months. So all my powders are not older than 3 months. And that means that it isn't sitting in storage for long periods, losing strength over time. And so a fast turnover ensures that each batch that I sell to customers remains fresh and potent and high quality. So when comparing Kigelia powders, it helps to ask a few questions to the sellers. Where is it actually sourced from? Is it wild crafted or farmed? Were the fruits that were picked fully ripe? How was it dried? How fresh is the batch? Those factors determine whether you're getting a genuinely potent powder or you're simply just getting something that looks the part. So and if you're interested in purchasing my Kigelia products, you can actually have a browse through my Etsy shop or on the website. You'll see various products, including the Kigelia powder, the Kigelia dried fruit pieces, the Kigelia body lotion, and or just skincare or massage lotion, which you can use it as, and the Kigelia oil, which is also a massage oil. So I've got quite a few Kigelia products on there. And this Kigelia that I sell, the powder is 100% Kigelia Africana. However, the oil and the creams are mixed with Mundia White Eye. I will be making another video on Mundia White, which is another herb that is actually very used for male issues, especially testosterone support, male enhancement, erectile dysfunction. So I've combined those two strong herbs together in the oils and in the creams. I will soon be coming out with a powder that is a blend of Mundia White Eye and Kigelia, which I think will be quite beneficial for those of you who don't want to have to buy the two different herbs. But I'll be coming out with that soon, and we'll let you know once that's available. Thank you for watching.